Liam Payne case from start to finish, and this is part 5. In part 4 we got up to approximately 4 p.m, 4:30 p.m, so let's continue. 4:26 p.m. Now this is when this photo was allegedly taken. We have to take into consideration here that in Brett's statements, he claimed he was in the lobby at this time, and so was 15 other people. Yet every single lobby photo we have been given, including those of CCTV, there is never anybody else around, bar the odd person. Now, Brett Watson also claimed that during this time, Liam had saw something on his laptop and then proceeded to smash the laptop up in the lobby. However, in Brett's next statement, he goes on to recall the fact he could see the fear in his guests' eyes and faces when they told him what had happened. Meaning that you weren't there, Brett? Or were you there? Because he claimed he was, but he is also talking in third person. He also sounds like he is talking from then later on conversations with his wedding guests. He also claimed he was upstairs with the wedding planner. So how have you seen this? Through floors? Through brick, Brett? He also then goes on and says approximately 30 minutes later, in quotations, we saw Liam come back down to the lobby. So, hang on, where were you? Please? Were you up? Were you down? Were you out? Were you in? Now, these are the photos that dropped onto TMZ, and this was the first time we ever seen anybody in that lobby, especially to do with Brett Watson and his alleged wedding party. Like I said before, say it again, on any of the CCTVs, you do not see any of these people, and it is very convenient how somebody else has taken this footage. This is not CCTV, this has been taken from one of his friends. 4:51 p.m. Liam allegedly returns back down to the lobby from his room. In fact, hotel workers claimed that when the elevator doors opened, Liam was pretty much unconscious, despite the fact that he's clearly walking in the still frame. He then moved over to the main lobby and he went over towards the main doors. Claims from various hotel guests say that Liam fell. He fell unconscious, he was foaming and frothing from the mouth. And using the still frame at the top, for example, the narrative was put out that there was clearly an altercation that happened. Regardless of what happened in the short period of time, it is later pictured the hotel staff, including the hotel masseuse, manhandling him and quite frankly inhumanely carrying him back towards the elevator. Question for me at this stage is, at this point, why did nobody call for emergency assistance? Why was nobody attending to him? If he was unconscious on the floor, why wasn't he put in the recovery position? It is by law that someone had to be first aid on site. Why was that person not then called and allocated? Guests have put in statements that Liam was frothing from the mouth. That, in my opinion, is a medical emergency. There are 5 people facing charges, including those of Esteban, who's pictured here. However, the other 2 members of staff, including Jose and the hotel masseuse, are not facing any charges nor are getting any sort of punishment. How can an inhumane and unlawful act, i.e. dragging a person against their will, not come with any consequences? We then had more CCTV drop to try and show us what happened after Liam was then dragged upstairs, which ironically he has gone from being in a horizontal position on the floor, being carried by his arms and legs, to what appears to be stood upright. And Gilda Martin is now present.